As the temperatures start rising, I feel that familiar urge to refresh my closet. I actually have been doing that. I've been on kind of a Poshmark Depop spree where I'm kind of like, if I get rid of this stuff, then I can get more stuff. Like, that's kind of my mindset. Sometimes I think people clear their closets to just get rid of stuff. Not me. I'm trying to shop, you know? And I don't want to waste my money on pieces I'll only wear once or just for one season. I mean, I'm trying not to, but like, you know, things happen. But Quince, I will say my Quince purchases, they're going season to season because their clothes are timeless. They're lightweight and they're far more elevated than anything else at that price. It finally feels like my wardrobe matches my standards, which are high. Okay? What do they got?
I love my I have Quince linen shorts. I have Quince non-linen shorts. They're just cotton. I have a wonderful my favorite thing from Quince, actually that I got recently was my Quince linen pants. They fit me perfectly, and it's hard for me to find pants that fit me perfectly.
I love that. I have these great, very starchy but very nice shirts. I wore them when I was a teacher. I was like, oh, I'm a professional, and I wore these like beautiful kind of like collared, long sleeve, but very comfortable shirts, long sleeve shirts.
Yeah, and Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. So give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/who for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/who to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/who.
You will dream it.
Yo, they wanna know. Hey.
Mia.
Hey.
Mia.
Come on.
Hey, I want to be famous.
Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Bobby Finger.
I'm Lindsay Weber.
And Haley Steinfeld's wedding photos have been published, not by Vogue, but by Beau.
Vogue.
They were this was one of the potential things that could have happened.
Society.
We said it was either going to be Vogue or Beau Society, and it was indeed Beau Society that got the wedding photo exclusives.
Truly, like, shout out to her for creating her own media empire and keeping the exclusives within her publication. I think it's, you know, you have to stick by your kind of, who am I thinking of? Your Rupert Murdoch ideals and say, this is where my exclusives go. Because when she posted, she was like, photos for only the like Beau Society members, like keep them within the family. Like she did say, don't let anyone else post these, which of
Well,
course
I did see them online,
stop
obviously.
It didn't stop
Yeah.
People Magazine and Us Weekly or whatever from snatching them up. They're so gorgeous.
We've told people not to post things that we put behind a paywall, and they
Guess
posted
what?
them anyway.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Also, Beau Society is not behind a paywall.
Well, it is behind a sign-up sheet. You're right.
Sure,
though.
but it's not behind a paywall because she's a generous mama. Like, we are reading this for free, and we are seeing these photos for free.
Well, she said she was a no-phones wedding. She made everyone keep their phones away. I'm assuming she locked them all up. So these are the only photos that exist of the wedding. The ones that her photographer took.
You know where I saw these photos first?
Where?
Mindy Weiss's Instagram. Her party planner. Whatever. She was like, go check out more on Beau Society. I'm like, okay, Mindy, you don't know what that is.
Was Mindy must have been there, right?
She what? Remember she was in the rehearsal photos?
Oh, right. She was. I was like, did she go to the actual event? But yeah, she certainly was.
Come
there.
on. She planned the wedding. She went to the entire thing. She had to make sure everything went out without a hitch. Went off without a hitch.
One of my favorite photos is my kind of like favorite category of straight wedding photo, which kills me every single time. There's always like one required obligatory photo of like the groom like putting on a cufflink or like checking his lapel. And there's one of those of Josh Allen just like grabbing his lapel and looking at the tag for something. It's like that's all they do in these photos.
It's just funny how I know less than zero things about Josh Allen, but that's fine.
Football.
What's his name?
Football.
Yeah.
Josh
okay.
Allen.
Josh
Football.
Allen. He has two first names though, which, you know,
It's tough.
is iconic and sometimes hard to live with.
Let's move on from someone with two first names to someone with two complete like fake names that doesn't make sense. Mr. Beast. What do you call that?
Wait, that transition was so brutal.
Well, Beast just isn't a name.
Sure, but it's
not a first or a last name. Mr. Beast?
It's
No.
a nickname. Do you know Mr. Beast's real name?
Oh, no. I actually don't think I've ever known it. I don't think I've ever looked
I know
it
it.
up.
I don't think I know it either. Who wrote Kind of Themmy? Do you think Mr. Beast is a them or does Timmy?
I didn't.
Oh,
I thought you
God.
wrote that.
No, I would never.
Oh, then it must have been Timmy. But Mr. Beast even though he is one of the most famous YouTubers, also his name is James Stephen Donaldson.
No wonder his name. Yeah, of course. Then that's why Mr. Beast is such an
James
apropos.
Stephen Donaldson.
Mr. Beast was the big reveal in a Mariah Carey music video, which I guess it's kind of like what really throws you is that what is more relevant, a new Mr. Beast video or a new Mariah Carey video? And like I think some people would argue it would be a new Mr. Beast video,
Yes.
which is why this is such a mess, because it's like the director of the video, the iconic Joseph Kahn, star of many making the videos on MTV. That's how you would know him if you're a millennial, and if not, you don't know him at all. Was like teasing this, like there's an earth-shattering surprise in the Mariah Carey video, and everyone's like, oh, could it be J-Lo? Could it be like, are we squashing beef?
The big rumor was J-Lo, yeah.
Like, what is earth-shattering? And then literally it's Mr. Beast, and it's like, Mr. Beast is earth-shattering to a 7-year-old. So it is just kind of like, does Joseph Kahn have kids? Does Mariah Carey have kids? Yes, the answer is yes to both. Mariah Carey happens to have a Twitch streaming son. That's another check in the like earth-shattering pile. So it's like, yeah, Mariah Carey is like blowing the minds of her kids by having Mr. Beast in a music video. Is she blowing the minds of like the millennials who are watching this video? No, we're all kind of like, question mark, question mark, question mark. That guy with the question marks above his head, you know?
But did you watch the video?
Yeah, I saw. She has like all these different guys, and then, you know, it was cool.
They're all different, like Mr. Dangerous, Mr. Whatever, and then the last guy that shows up in the video is Mr. Beast, and then this happens.
I don't know him.
She says, I don't know him, and he explodes into a cloud of dollar
Money.
bills.
I'm glad she's staying true to the like, she really doesn't know him. And I do feel like when he showed up on set, she was like, whatever. This guy, whatever.
Right. So like, Timmy, respect, but the gag of the video, even though he is a them in some circles.
Mariah Carey doesn't know who he is.
Mariah Carey doesn't know who the fuck Mr. Beast is.
I don't know him. She can't even say it correctly. Like, even though she's the one that originally said it, she can't even do
hers.
it. She can't do it right.
It's hers, and she can't do it anymore.
Also, I don't know him is not real. It's I don't know her, and then it's who is this man? Like, it's that's there are two genders. I don't know her. Who is this man?
Well,
You know?
one of them is it. I do understand, because in this she's acting. She's having to deliver the line, I don't know him. The original one was very off the cuff, very genuine, very raw, very
Are you
candid.
saying Mariah Carey is a bad actor?
No, I'm saying it's a different type of
You are.
thing. One
You're
was just
saying
very
that.
authentic.
Type dangerous. Oh, like what's my type? That's
Yeah.
like the
Yes.
plot of the song.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did like the song was kind of a classic throwback to kind of the 90s and early aughts R&B that's like, I got this guy, he's like this, I got this guy, he's like this, there's this guy, he's like this, and that guy, he's like this, and that guy. And you're like, oh, it's just a list of guys. Like, that rocks.
I always think of Rich Joswiak's like pieces about like Mariah Carey's like huge vocabulary and how she always uses like 10-syllable words in her songs,
Yeah.
which is very rare for a pop star. And
Sure.
I laughed at the first listen of this song when she said,
They don't know the meaning of what to know, so I don't have time for the rigmarole.
Yeah, she's definitely the first musician who's ever said rigmarole in a song. I don't want to hear that word in a song.
I love hearing it out of her mouth. Oh, it's great.
It's water, soap. Let's rhyme soap with a rigmarole. Yeah, it's true. She is kind of like, she is
She's a
gagging the
genius.
Charlie XCXs of the world who are like party Bacardi. Like they can't
Party
even
Bacardi.
play at her level.
Or the Taylor Swifts of the world that rhyme car with bar. Did you see that recently viral video of every single time Taylor Swift has rhymed car with bar? It was like making me wheeze because I
would
couldn't believe how
love
often she does it.
to see Taylor Swift try and use rigmarole in a song. In a sentence.
I'm drunk in the back of the car, and I cried like a baby coming home from the bar. To kissing cars and downtown bars. I'm in a getaway car. I left you in the motel bar. We were in the backseat, drunk on something stronger than the drinks in the bar. I rent a place on Cornelia Street. I say casually in the car.
I could see Tree Payne using rigmarole in a very, 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 very pointed statement.
Legal document.
My client does not have
cease and
time for this
desist.
rigmarole.
Cease and desist.
Sabrina Elba, what's in my bag? I literally use it for everything and anything.
Wait, but did you know that like a few more Googles reveal that Sabrina Elba has done what's in my bags for like everything she's ever done? Do you look at the bottom? She's done a what's in my travel bag for sheer luxe fashion, and she also did what's my travel wardrobe with my sweet life. So this is now like the 40th time Sabrina Elba has opened her bag.
I am here today with Sabrina Elba to do our next wardrobe challenge, and we are talking everything staycation, from what she's packing, beauty, fashion, bags, accessories, jewelry, and all the little techs and secret gadgets that you might have with you.
I love that. Thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to
See you. So nice to see you in the most beautiful apartment.
Oh, hey, I'm Sabrina Dore Elba, and welcome to my sweet life. Come on in.
Like she's standing at the door with the bag open, being like, look inside, look inside, look inside, look inside, look inside, you know? This format is her shit, is what I'm saying.
Well, this does make sense because I have noticed that Sabrina has been ramping up publicity because she's like promoting her beauty line hard this summer. The beauty line is a year-ish old. I think we talked about it when she launched it because she was doing like a bunch of weird press for it. But when I first realized that like, oh, she was really going hard was a couple weeks ago when she gave people this exclusive. Sabrina Elba shares the lip balm she wears while kissing husband Idris Elba and more of her beauty MVPs. And I was sort of like, why? At first, I had to like reorient myself for a second. I was like, why do I care what lip balm she wears while kissing husband Idris Elba? Oh, right. She has a lip balm that she's selling. And the one that she uses is the one that she sells on her website.
So in her bag is a can of LaCroix, a Hershey bar, 2 pieces of makeup, 2 pieces. Who wrote this?
Two pieces. Well, it's like, it's
okay.
It's two products, 2 makeup products.
Which ones? From her line?
Yes, both of them are from her line. And
then
a
one
baggie
of chic cotton swabs. And
yeah,
then
like reusable cotton swabs.
Did the thing where they like, I have to identify her 12 times as they talk about her. And the first is the Sable Labs co-founder and CEO, the entrepreneur. Well, oh no, then it's her husband, Idris Elba, then the entrepreneur, then the activist, because she's also a Goodwill ambassador, so is Idris, to the United Nations International Fund for Agricultural Rural Development.
And I'm sorry, only one of the 2 makeup products is from her beauty line. The other one is from Lisa Eldridge's beauty line.
Do you want to read this line from this that made you laugh?
Yes, I love it because I'm still laughing reading it. You'll also find tech gadgets inside the model's tote, which she uses to listen to audiobooks like Prisoners of Geography by Tim Marshall. Quote, you don't realize how much geography influences world economics, the activist shared of the insightful listen.
I'm still
you
stuck
just don't
on you'll
realize
also
it.
find tech gadgets inside the model's tote. It's like, why are we writing like this?
You'll also find tech gadgets inside the model's tote.
What is she using to listen to audiobooks?
Lindsay, they mean a cell phone. They mean an
Right.
iPhone.
Do they mean like a Kindle or something? Like, it's so confusing. Back to Sabrina Elba, Sable. It's Sabrina Elba, but it's spelled different.
I didn't know that until today, and I've known about this beauty brand for like a year.
I think it's kind of hard to be like, I'm a Goodwill ambassador and I'm selling makeup. Like, I don't know if those 2 things really go together.
If you do it,
and she's an esthetician.
I don't think they go together, but the way she's doing her beauty line is kind of like, it's really thoughtful.
Well, it also is because she's working with like African countries. Like she's Somali. She's working with Sierra Leone and Ghana. And she's like doing that within her Goodwill ambassadorship. But then the makeup also is inspired by like with African ingredients and like her mother's like beauty tips like from
Somalia.
Yeah, like, and so it's actually funny. Like, it is kind of, I guess, maybe it works better than I kind of.
I think it works better than most celebrity beauty lines because this has like a full narrative to it, and it's like, yeah, like she grew up in Canada, but her mom did not, and so it's like we used to go to Kenya every year. I was just like so obsessed with all of my mom's beauty products, so I created a line that used all of these like traditional like African ingredients. I think most of them are from Somalia to make beauty products that are for people with a lot of melanin in their skin. Like that's like half of what all of her press statements are about. And she is an actual esthetician, so there is like an expertise there that a lot of the celebrities don't have. I don't know. Like either way, it's weird for celebrities to do this stuff.
Well, I'm also just kind of like impressed that Idris Elba is famous enough where like his daughter and his wife are both like drafting off him into some sort of like public figure careers, whatever it is, whether it's beauty or acting or ambassadorship or whatever, you know?
So Sabrina Elba said, for my line, I wanted to create products that used both my aesthetic training and Somali heritage to forge a kind of diasporic connection through beauty. Heather Ray Moussas said, ha 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 ha, what if your lips were pink? Ha 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 ha.
I do feel like there should be no other selling point in makeup other than ha 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 ha. What if your lips were purple? Wouldn't that be fun?
It's just so fucking to have like actual whether or not you're groaning at the concept of a celebrity trying to sell you shit, at least Sabrina's trying. Heather Ray's just like, it's pink. Ha 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 ha.
I know. And she's like, what's in this lipstick? I don't know. Toxic waste.
I never thought that this would happen. Like, I cannot believe this is my life.
What? I'm waking up to go film where with who? I guess it's been almost a decade, you know, but wow.
Wow, it's going amazing, and it seems, because you keep everybody on their toes. We're all very interested.
So she does. I mean, I'm no longer in the camp that I think this is funny. Heather Ray Moussa and Tarek Moussa and Christina Hawk and whatever she's fucking dating at this point, like being together. This is demented.
Well, yeah, them now doing promo stuff together has lost all of its allure.
It's not even a joint beauty brand. It is Christina doing promo alongside her ex-husband's current wife to promote her ex-husband's current wife's lip gloss.
But it just shows how pathetic, really, how pathetic the three of them are in that they know this is like the only way that people care about them. And it stems from like a dark place too. Like it's a dark place, like like that these three people come from. I almost like feel bad that now Heather Ray Moussa is like involved in these two. They're twisted. They're twisted affair. I'm kind of like I think they're still fucking, like, truly. I think that like
all
Tarek,
three of them are fucking. It's never been clearer than nothing has ever been clearer than the fact that these three people are constantly fucking together.
So these two blondes are doing like, we're friends, we're ex-wife friends, current wife, ex-wife friends, we're twins, we're selling this lipstick. Meanwhile, if you scroll down, it's like, is this still like the darkness of the El Moussa clan reigns supreme because Tarek is in Vegas punching someone, like beating people up actively in Vegas.
So
never forget when he like disappeared with a gun and people were like, what happened? And he was like, nothing. And we were like, what? And he was like, nothing happened. Sorry, because it was like, did he go away to kill himself or kill somebody else? Like, what happened? We don't know what happened with him. I'm serious.
But anyway.
And now he's like, you touched my dad's chair. I'm going to punch you in the face.
So we're not there yet.
I'm sorry. So I don't need the rest of this.
Heather and Christina have taken now 2 different photo shoots where they're in either matching pink bikinis or matching black and white bikinis, because the whole thing is that they look alike and they're obsessed with this.
They kind of don't. They're just blonde, whatever.
Well, they're blonde.
They're both blonde.
They have kind of the same body shape, sort of.
This lip gloss looks disgusting also, by the way. It's like, it's not special in any way. It's just like pink lip gloss you'd get at Dwayne Reed, you know?
No, it's not special at all. So I'm reading the comments on these articles because I'm like, the comments on the Instagrams, like, what are the haters saying about all of this?
Is it just like also one lipstick? It's just one product.
It's just one product. She has more products on her website. I went to it, but like the one that she's really promoting insanely lipstick right now is
not a
this
line. It's just one lip gloss.
It's a few things on her website, but this is the only one that she's actually actively promoting. So I saw this comment in Italian, so I had to Google Rita in Italian so I wouldn't butcher it.
Okay.
Here it is.
Siete fantastiche, donne che amano le donne senza essere in competizione o rancore. Avete creato un esempio di famiglia allargata, creando serenità e continuità per i vostri figli. Saluti dall'Italia Cuore Rosso.
Okay, at the end he said greetings from Italy, I think.
Yeah, it says, you guys are awesome. Women loving women without being in competition or holding grudges. You've created an example of the extended family, creating serenity and continuity for your children. Greetings from Italy. So I wanted to put a headline about Tarek Moussa in Italian too, because I thought it would be funny to hear this one. See if it's more elegant.
Tarek El Moussa ha colpito con ginocchiate e pugni alla testa un uomo durante una violenta rissa in un casino. La polizia.
So that just sounds really beautiful, but in English, it's Tarek El Moussa need pummeled man with blows to the head during violent casino fight. Police.
Maybe we need to translate our entire podcast into Italian so it sounds good instead of sounding like Tarek El Moussa need pummeled man with blows to the head during violent casino fight. Police. It's one thing to be like, get away from my dad's chair and like throw a punch. He's like actively abusing this man, like beating the shit out of him.
But he didn't get arrested. He just got a little citation.
Well, apparently he's pressing charges.
The guy he beat up is pressing charges.
I would.
So what happened was Tarek was in Vegas at the Venetian playing roulette with his elderly father. Christina and Heather, I think, or at least Heather was there.
They were too busy like putting on lipstick at the nearby table and being
They were having a
we
pillow
look
fight.
alike!
No, they were having a pillow fight in their bedroom.
They really that's what they want you to, this is what they
Feathers going everywhere. Bra strap falling off. Oh no.
oh no, our lipstick fell off. Our beautiful pink lipstick fell off.
Spraying whipped cream in like a bowl and like eating it with a spoon. Okay, so while they're having a pillow fight with whipped cream and very
And lip
skimpy
gloss.
bra straps and lip gloss upstairs in the Venetian,
Yeah.
Tarek is playing roulette with his father. And apparently this guy, like, I'm just waiting for this Las Vegas security footage to
I
get
need a
leaked 'cause
video.
You know
I
it
need
will.
a video. The cops say the man patted the right shoulder of Tarek's dad and said something to him.
Yes. And so you obviously the video has no
What if
audio,
he
but you
said,
can
like,
see.
good luck, brother, or something?
Well, whatever he said to the father activated Tarek.
Tarek
Which
said, "I'm gonna kill
honestly,
you."
Just by the way, Tarek is a seemingly very scary man. So that
He's
guy
a
could have said
live wire.
wire. So honestly, I would believe it if the guy said, "Good luck, bro," or "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Exactly.
Driving crooner. So I don't know what he said, but it wouldn't surprise me that Tarek would have been activated regardless, right? So Tarek gets activated. They start like doing like a bear, like like come at me, come at me, come at me. Finally, I guess the other guy started the fight, but Tarek seemingly finished it because when the
By
cops
beating the
came,
shit out of him?
well, when the cops came, the guy who antagonized Tarek acted like he didn't do anything, and then they showed the video footage and it showed that he seemingly started it, but that doesn't change the fact that Tarek did beat him up. So now the guy's saying he's going to press charges. The only video we have with audio is from police body cam footage where Tarek and his dad are being interviewed in like some random interrogation room at the Venetian, and Tarek's shirt is all ripped and he's giving an explanation to the cops, and to my ear he sounds wasted, but I don't know. Tarek sounds a little wasted in the video, which wouldn't surprise me, right?
Tarek remains a scary man, and his sister wives remain perverted. Happy Father's Day. You protect us from random guys at the casino, even though we weren't there, nor were
Well,
your
no, he
kids.
wrote, "You protect us with everything you've got, every single day for me as a partner and for all three of the babies." Ugh, 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 ugh.
Scary.
I want to be famous.
It's summer reading season. It's coming up. Beach reads. And you know what's better than a beach read? A beach listen.
How do you even sit on the beach and read a book at this point? It's kind of uncomfortable always. You know what I mean? You got to like make sure you have enough shade, but not too much shade because you got to get a little tan. Your neck can't hurt, blah, blah, blah. Here's how to solve that problem. Listen to your book.
On Audible, okay? Listen to it on Audible. Did you ever wish you could turn your daily routine into an adventure? You can with Audible. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just winding down at the end of the day, you can always have an incredible story playing in your ears. So next time you go to the beach, bring your headphones with you so you can listen to a wonderful audiobook, because there are plenty of good books coming out this spring and summer.
Audible delivers thrills of every kind on your command, from electrifying suspense and daring quests to spine-tingling horror and romance in far-off realms. So they just have everything you need. Any recommendation you get from a friend, there's an audiobook, and you can get it on Audible.
You know what you could listen to on the beach? Two good recommendations what you could listen to on the beach. You know I love Ann Tyler. New Ann Tyler novel out. So is the audiobook. You know what else is out on audiobook soon? Tina Knowles' memoir, Matriarch. Listen to that on the beach. Tell your friends all of her anecdotes.
I'm still listening to Barbara Streisand's memoir audiobook. That's going to take me years to finish, and I'm so happy to pick it back up for the summer.
Audible members can keep one title a month to keep from this entire catalog. New members can try Audible now free for 30 days and dive into a world of new thrills. Visit audible.com/who or text WHO to 500-500. That's audible.com/WHO or text WHO to 500-500 to try Audible free for 30 days.
Risk is the show where people tell true stories they never thought they'd dare to share. A podcast all about human connection and radical honesty. All through June for Pride Month, Risk will be featuring the stories of LGBTQ folks from all walks of life. You'll laugh, cry, and maybe even end up feeling a little bit better. Go get Risk on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because when you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores, we're talking fashion, we're talking beauty, we're talking electronics, we're talking home essentials, we're talking dining, travel, concert tickets, and more. I just pulled up my personal Rakuten account to see what I've earned money back on before. Books, dining, makeup, Sephora, Abe Books. I'm just going to give you the names. COS, Gap. This is just like where I've shopped recently. Burlap and Barrel. Oh, I bought spices. I got some points back on that. Design Within Reach.
I told you to get that pepper, that good
bought
black
some little
pepper.
boxes. eBay. I love my Rakuten eBay points. The Real. Okay, so I'm just giving you, these are all places that I personally have shopped where Rakuten has given me a percentage back.
Your favorite stores like Dyson, Samsung, or Nike pay Rakuten a commission for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the commission with its members. That's you. Cashback is deposited directly into your PayPal account, or Rakuten can send you a check. The choice is yours. Lindsay likes the PayPal account. I'm sort of into paper check. I like that idea. You can even maximize your savings by stacking cashback on top of other deals like store sales and coupons.
So get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. So see Rakuten.com for details. That's RAKUTEN. Your cashback really adds up.
I want to be famous.
From one celebrity's sort of like brand expansion that makes a little bit of sense to a celebrity brand expansion that makes absolutely no sense and is like just purely like a capitalist nightmare. Smartless is starting a phone company. I didn't believe this. I didn't know what I was looking at for so long. And then I realized that it was real.
It is funny because it's like, truly, what is the business extension for a podcast? Like, what makes sense to sell if you're a podcast other than sweatshirts, right? And merch is applicable to any fan community, so it's kind of irrelevant. So it's like, if you're a podcast, like, you sell like microphones? No, that's not like a
headphones.
That's no right, but those aren't even like consumer products, really. For like, you're not like everybody should podcast. Like, you're not, as a podcast, you're not like selling the idea of podcasting, you're selling yourself. And Smartless has no concept. It's just three famous guys that were already famous.
If they were three famous guys who like, we just sip whiskey and we talk about our shit all day, they could sell whiskey, but they don't even do that.
Sure, but they don't do that. So it's like, okay, they're partnering together because I guess they talk on the phone sometimes. To each other?
do not overthink it this much.
Okay,
no.
So they're starting just like Mint Mobile before them. They're like, Ryan Reynolds has, totally revolutionized the phone industry. Which, like, sure, he has, whatever. We're gonna do our own Smartless Mobile, where we offer customers more affordable alternative to the industry giants. Breaking up the big five, the big three. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. Is that the big three? Whatever, I'm calling them that.
They're not even broken up. That's the thing.
It's admirable.
It's not
because
even
they're
broken
using
up. They're using their infrastructure.
I know.
These companies are getting money from them anyway.
I know. To start a phone company, you still have to, what do you call it? Lease
license. Lease
the. But what they're doing is really interesting to me. Remember when you used to have to pay for data and it was like torture and your dad would be like, "You've used all your data. We're going over. It's overage." That just happened to me all the time. And then they were like, okay, unlimited data, game changing. Unlimited data. I'm obsessed, right? So they're saying, like, now that Wi-Fi is everywhere, you're being ripped off. So we're only going to charge you. We're going to go back to charging you for the data, like, as you use it. We're going back to the old time of when it was miserable and you had to worry about how much data you were using.
It's just so regressive, and it's being pitched as something that's like brand new. And that's what's driving me totally crazy.
I just don't understand why these three guys who started this podcast as like a way to do something different than like their already successful A-listy careers for most of them. Sorry, most of them. Maybe just Jason Bateman and the others are kind of B to B-list or whatever.
I think they were all at least B+ list.
Jason Bateman's
kind of say
A.
they were all A- list at the time.
Really? Okay.
Even
whatever
Sean
it is.
Hayes, but whatever.
Whatever. The point is I think it's interesting to me to go being like, we want to do something different. This feels more like us. And then they're using the this feels more like us platform to do something that is what you have to do when you're like a shitty celeb to like make money. So it's almost like you took this back door out. It actually worked for you. People like it. It's making you money. You're chatting with your friends. It feels natural. It's an extension of your brand or whatever, more personality based. And then you're using that as a way to get back into this shithole. Like, why? Like, why? Do they feel like they're doing good? Like they're
they feel like they're getting a humongous paycheck. They're getting a huge paycheck, and they're having to release the longest, most like overly verbose statements about why they're doing this, because you can tell in their statements that they're being defensive, that they feel really uncomfortable about this. That makes no sense. So they're trying to be like
interested in continuing to work with one another and find some other interesting things that we could learn about or try our hand at that would be different than acting or directing or producing or writing or podcasting, whatever Bateman 56 tells people. Why don't you like learn to churn butter? Or why don't you like maybe take up sewing? Or like learn an instrument, maybe learn Spanish. Like I actually don't, that's ridiculous.
We were interested in finding another revenue stream, but one that didn't require all that much effort and had a huge return on minimal investment. Enter Smartless Mobile.
We thought, what other businesses would make sense for, they literally sound like us. What other business would make sense for us to try? And since we know that people usually listen to our podcast on their phones, we thought, well, that's kind of an organic thing. What could we do in the phone space? That is absolutely cuckoo. Bananas, as you would say.
No, but you go down paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs, and Bateman keeps talking because they all have their own talking points. Bateman can't stop talking about how everyone listens to their podcast on their phones. Will Arnett can't stop talking about how crazy it is that phones are connected to Wi-Fi 90% of the time, so they're not actually using much data. Sean Hayes is just like, ditto. But no, Sean Hayes just talks about price. Actually,
Sean Hayes
they
is
do all
like,
have their buckets.
I'm the gay guy and I'm looking for a deal.
Well, he goes, I don't want to overpay on anything. Diva. He actually didn't say diva, but wait.
In this, they say, it turned out Will knew a guy who knew a guy in telecoms. Then you scroll up and it says, Arnett, who has been a spokesperson for Canadian telecommunications giant Shaw Communications, said he realized an opening in the market when he had to purchase a new phone for his kid. The salesperson told him he needed a deal with unlimited data. His friend, Paul McAleese, the former president of Shaw, told him he got ripped off. His kid was never going to use all that data. It's like, you don't know how much fucking data I'm going to use.
Bateman kept talking about phones, and he said, our Smartless podcast now reaches millions of listeners each month, almost all of whom listen on their phones, said Bateman in a statement. Extending the Smartless brand into mobile is a logical next step. Their first ad for Smartless Mobile is like a digital print ad, and it just says, no overages, no BS. It's Smartless. And then Jason Bateman at the bottom is saying, we saved our BS for the pod. Oh, it's so clunky. It's so
You know what's
clunky.
crazy? When you sign up for Smartless Mobile, you're going to have no service anywhere. It's going to be so fun for you. Like, you're going to want to listen to the podcast while driving through the beautiful streets of Vermont. Good luck, bitch. You're not. I'm serious. I'm so serious.
Well, then you're going to say, oh, right. I remember that in all of their press releases, they said I should just connect to Wi-Fi.
Right.
Thank God there weren't any contracts.
I'm just like, I feel like at this point, you need to be giving back, and this is not it. You know?
Tell us about Smartless Mobile.
Thank you for asking.
Glad you didn't say mobile.
Yeah, we're really glad.
Yeah.
They would say that in another country, but
Or
is
if
it a
you're
worldwide thing, Smartless?
I don't know, Jim. But what do you think? What am I, Wikipedia?
Yeah, we didn't go with a tuna fish. So we thought we were talking about how to expand the brand a little more. And since people listen to our podcast mostly on their phone, we just thought it was an incredible idea to just somehow get involved in that area.
Bonnie McKee, you know who needs to start a cell phone company? Bonnie McKee. Bonnie McKee did a full video interview with DailyMail because she submitted a music video to Tribeca. I swear to God. This is
music video that came out like a year ago.
A year ago. She said this video is so good, which, by the way, spoiler, it's not. It's just kind of normal. This video is so good that it should be I mean, honestly, to have the confidence of Bonnie McKee for as long as she has had it is like a gift. Truly, I would love it. I would love to have Bonnie McKee's confidence. She's out here submitting her music video of her solo career, her own music video that she wrote and directed and produced and started and edited. I don't know. She did all of it, right?
Yeah, she did. She cast.
She
it
did
too.
edit it. She did edit it.
You literally, she directed, started, edited, produced, and cast. Yes. You were making that up, but it's true.
No, it's true. She submitted it to Tribeca and it got in, and it's part of like the Shorts availability, the Shorts program.
Based on what I know about Tribeca
She
from
paid
people
to get it
who
in?
know, I think that Tribeca is kind of like one of the easier festivals to get things into. Yeah.
It's giving pay to play. Okay.
I think Tribeca is not necessarily a badge of huge honor. It's a badge of some honor.
But I do think the gall to submit a music video that you did into Tribeca is kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then get it in.
The song is called Forever 21. It sounds like a song from 2012 because it is a song from 2012. Because Bonnie McKee recorded this album called Hot City for Epic, right? It was Epic Records, and then there was some sort of contractual dispute. The album never came out. She was never able to release it. So last year she did the Taylor Swift thing and re-recorded it because she wrote all the songs, so they belonged to her, but the actual masters didn't. So she recorded the whole thing, spent money, I guess, out of her own pocket. It was independently released this album to, I guess, like little to no fanfare last year. No one cared. And now she's trying to drum up publicity for this album that already exists by releasing like a new remix album of Forever 21 and putting this song in the Tribeca Film Festival, the video for it. The song isn't bad, but it sounds like a Katy Perry B-side from 2012.
Which is great because Bonnie McKee wrote amazing Katy Perry B-sides in 2012. And it's like, remember Teenage Dream? Like, it rocked or whatever.
This sounds like Forever 21 is very much like Last Friday Night Part 2.
Right. And everyone's comments is like, if this song came out in 2011, it would be a hit. And it's like, but it didn't.
But it didn't. No, it literally
like,
didn't.
Right.
If this song came out in 2011 and was sung by an actual famous person, it would have been a hit. But Bonnie McKee has this she's obviously like one of the most talented pop songwriters of all time, probably, and prolific. But like her voice, she has this uncanny valley voice that I think is a result of what her job is, right? Like writing music, because she spent so much of her life writing music for other pop stars. Her voice has, I think, turned into some like a generic thing that doesn't sound real.
Gotta say, you know who this only makes look better? Diane Warren, because guess who has a shitty voice and is not looking to have a music career? Diane Warren.
You're obsessed with Diane Warren's
Warren's voice is so terrible, such a terrible singer to the point where if you listen to Diane Warren's demos, you're like, get me out of this earth. Like, you have to hear the song through the quality of her voice. But what it means is that Diane Warren is not trying to have a music career. She's like, I'm the songwriter. Like, that's my mission on this planet. Sorry,
this is her career.
I just
you just watched the
Diane Warren
documentary.
I'm now Diane Warren brained, but I'm just saying, like, this is kind of this issue where you're writing songs for other people and you're like, why am I not just like giving myself the songs? But there is a magic. It just proves, though, there is a magic in Katy Perry that Katy Perry sings Forever 21 could be a hit in 2011. Bonnie McKee sings Forever 21, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like Esther Dean, another incredible songwriter who like tried to become a singer, and
More
it
recently,
didn't
Amy
work
Allen.
that well. Amy Allen, yes, Amy Allen.
Yes, who also came out with a solo album, who I thought was pretty good, but it's no Sabrina Carpenter, you know, which she writes for. So it's just like one of those things where it's like there is kind of an element where I think people maybe are like, the song can be so amazing, but it also kind of matters who sings it.
It does. Like when you listen to this Forever 21 song, which I'm sure you already played a clip of, like you realize that like Bonnie McKee is not a bad singer by any means, and Katy Perry is not an incredible singer by any means. However, this song would have been better had Katy Perry sung it. You know, like
so Bonnie McKee gives this exclusive interview to the Daily Mail. They take, you know, they ask her what she's up to, but then they immediately, you know, ask her the most annoying questions that she's answered so many times. They're like, are you mad about when Lorde made fun of your lyrics in Dynamite, a great song by Tayo Cruz, where Lorde was like, I'm tired of being told to throw my hands up in the air, which by the way is a song
Bonnie
from like
brings this up all the
400,000
time.
years ago. And Bonnie's like, yeah, I am still mad at that. I'm mad at that. I'm mad. And everyone's like,
well, she'll be like, I got over it, but I was mad at the time. I thought it was insulting.
It was a massive hit. And then all of a sudden you start hearing every song talk about putting your hands up in the air. But I was like, but Lorde, you don't understand where I was coming from. You don't understand. That was a really deep song to me. That wasn't a deep song to you. Babe, don't lie. Don't lie. It's a great song. A deep song?
calling the song Dynamite a deep song.
Great. That's
to me is
delusionalista.
Hilarious. In case you don't remember, the song Team by Lorde has the iconic line, I'm kind of over getting told to throw my hands up in the air, so there. That's a direct reference to Dynamite, written by
I throw
Bonnie
my
McKee.
hands up in the air
Yeah,
sometimes, saying, "Hey-o, baby, let's go. I want to celebrate and live my life." Yeah, these are deep lyrics. These are deep lyrics. I'm not saying songs have to have deep lyrics. In fact, I like my songs to not have deep lyrics oftentimes. But to be like, that was deep to me, bitch, whatever.
To piss on my leg and call it a deep lyric, it's just not going to work.
And then she's like, you know, songwriters don't make as much money as they do anymore. And it's like, yeah,
I love that talking point. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's kind of, streaming has totally fucked up their shit.
It's not a livable wage for songwriters, and that really needs to change. It used to be if you were like a middle-class songwriter and you got like a B-side on a Rihanna album or even a smaller artist than that, you could buy a house.
My favorite story of the week is that Jeff Lewis's ex-boyfriend is now engaged to Jeff Lewis's other ex-boyfriend.
Well, okay, but they weren't married, but they weren't
married. They were together for a long time.
But they were together for 9 years, so that's why
and
it
they
was
had a
like
baby.
So Jeff Lewis's brief ex-boyfriend is now engaged to Jeff Lewis's long-term
Very
ex-boyfriend,
long-term.
who basically was his
who was on the
common-law
show
husband. Yeah.
So Gage Edward was a cast member on Flipping Out. I mean, it was post when I watched, because Gage joined the cast of Flipping Out as Jeff's like business manager or
This
something
is incredible
in season 5
for Jeff. This is like Jeff fuel.
I only watched the first few seasons, like when it was true chaos. And early Bravo, and then I fell off. But Gage was on the show for like 6 seasons up until it was canceled. And in that time, they started dating. They moved in together. They had a baby via surrogate. And the surrogate giving birth was an episode of the show. And the story that I forgot until I was doing a little more Googling, that I was like crying, laughing, reading about, because I know for a fact we talked about this on the podcast in 2018, was involving this headline. Jeff Lewis apologized to daughter's surrogate for, quote, disgusting comments before she sued him. Because in the episode of Flipping Out that chronicled the birth of this child, there was a scene where they're like filming the surrogate giving birth, whose name was Alexandra Trent, and her like bottom half of her body is blurred, but everyone's watching. Like Jeff is in the room with Greg and their like little scrubs, and they're watching, and they're like totally visibly repulsed by what they're looking at. And then it cuts to an interview segment, and Jeff says, quote, if I was a surrogate and I had known there was going to be an audience, I probably would have waxed. And that was the shocking part for Gage. I don't think Gage had ever seen a vagina, let alone one that big. And so
it has to make space.
And so Alexandra said, I'm suing your ass for anguish, because what you said caused anguish, self-loathing, contempt, and depression. I don't know what happened. I think it all was settled out of court because I couldn't find a conclusion to it. But I was like, I wonder if that clip is still online. So I found the episode. I had to buy it. It's not streaming anywhere. I had to buy the episode on Amazon. Sorry. It was the only place I could buy this episode because I wanted to see if it was removed, and it was. So I watched the entire birth scene. I watched the entire birth scene, which is so irritating.
Is that what you did this morning?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I couldn't watch Keeping Up with the Baldwin, so I had to watch a 10-year-old episode of
I always
Flipping
wonder
Out.
what you do on Monday mornings before I wake up.
Yeah, there's so much time.
It's always something stupid.
So I watched this episode of Flipping Out, and that clip is gone. So I was like, oh, she successfully got this out of the episode. Because I found contemporaneous recaps, like blogs where they were talking about this episode when it was released, like before the lawsuit, and they talk about that scene. They're like, Jeff said that the vagina was huge. Like, all of that is out of the episode now, so it seems like they cut it out.
I feel like, I'm sorry, like, men shouldn't be allowed to have children with men or women if they don't know, like, what happens to a vagina during childbirth.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Like, I don't care. I don't
should know.
care. You should just
You
have
should
an
know.
idea of, like, what happens to a vagina during childbirth. Like, just to have a concept.
Yeah.
So now Gage, who was on the show, and I know that they had a really
Really
tumultuous
contentious breakout. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and a child custody issues or whatever for a long time. They still do. Is now engaged. I have to say, being engaged to your ex who you hates ex is probably a bad idea. Because if you think about it, it's like you both had the bad sense to date Jeff Lewis. Like, what makes you think that it's a right fit for each of you to date each other? Like, nothing. Both of you picked this guy too.
Well, I think they just think that their breakfast at Tiffany's is Jeff Lewis, and that's somehow going to be the saving grace of their common enemy is one that they share.
Well, that's
so
true.
passionately,
and that's the source of a great friendship. I just am like, then you're like dating, then you're engaged. You're like, oh, is our whole relationship a huge troll to Jeff Lewis? Which, like, honestly, Jeff Lewis has trolled many a people, so this is kind of the ultimate troll to him, right?
Trolled many a people.
I was listening to Chaz Dean weigh in on this. Did you click that at all?
No.
A friend of Jeff's. Yeah, Chaz Dean, the hairstylist of famous for many billboards.
Jeff's ex, Scott, is dating Gage. Could you even, I mean, I truly could not imagine this. I mean, I would get over it, but that can't be easy.
And I know Scott too. I met Scott years ago before the Jeff and Gage thing. I had met Scott somewhere around town. And then when he was dating Jeff, I'm like, oh, because I knew who he was. My element is just here where it's crazy is that they were dating when he was going through all the craziness. So when you're dating someone, you open up to that person about all that you're going through and all your troubles and all this and that. It's a double-edged sword, and now he can be used again. It's just wrong. I mean, first of all, it's the bro code thing. It's like, it's not, I don't agree with it. Sorry, Scott. Sorry, Gage. It's just, you don't. I think that's a universal thing. But to know that as they were in their breakup, how, you know what I mean? He knew all, I don't want to say, I don't mean the secrets, whatnot, but just all that he was going through. I'm sure he opened up to him. And now you're dating the person that he opened up all that about. I don't know. I would not be happy about it whatsoever.
So what Chaz is saying, which is so real, it's like when Jeff Lewis was fighting his ex Gage, like over the kid stuff and everything else, he was dating Scott. So he was probably telling Scott all this shit, and now Scott is dating Gage, and now Scott and Gage can use this information that they have from Jeff to like go against Jeff again. It is really, that's pretty nasty.
That's crazy.
Or
That's
will these
really
three
crazy.
end up like Tarek and Heather and
No, they want to kill each other. They want to kill each other.
I mean, wow.
What I really need is Jenny's opinion on all of this. Because
where is Jenny?
Jenny, I mean, he talks about, it's actually really sad. Here, the other thing about Jeff Lewis is that he has chronic podcast mouth because he has a radio show.
He talks on the radio every single day and then gets in trouble for whatever he says every single day.
Well, it's everything. It's like when you're alone on a microphone every single day, you're going to talk about like your bowel movements and like problems with your friends and what
But
you
he also
ate
like
and
alienates
acne.
other people on Bravo and then has to like come face to face with them and be like, sorry, I said that. Like he,
Yes.
like, and that kind of fuels him, I think. Like that's kind of like what he's best at is he's like being so real about these people, but then he has to kind of interview them and they're like, I'm mad at you. And he's like, yeah, everyone's mad at me, you know?
He talked about Gage in a recent
why he's great.
episode.
Yeah.
He talked about Gage in a recent episode from February 5th. This was written about on, I think, realityt.com. Is this reality? No, just bravotv.com. He said, I am 90% responsible for why we're here, meaning broken up with Gage. I emotionally abandoned him last year. I was a complete prick. I turned on him. I pushed him away. All I can tell you, it was my worst year. I experienced great loss, citing the end of his friendship with Jenny Poulos Nassos and the passing of his grandmother, Patty. So it's like his great loss was losing Jenny, probably his fault, and his grandmother. Quote, there was a great loss and I did not handle it well and I self-destructed. I really did. I didn't even recognize myself, frankly. And so by that time, I tried to correct the situation, which wasn't until January 1st of this year. It was too late. I take responsibility.
If he still had Jenny on his side, like as a BFF and kind of like holding it down for him, I feel like he'd have a lot more credit in this world. Like I think people would give him a lot more credit if Jenny was still kind of like repping him.
For Jenny to have left means that things got bad.
Right. Because she also kind of like left all the opportunities given by that show.
That's what I mean.
Too,
That's
and
what I
his
mean.
and her relationship with this guy and his business or whatever.
She was always,
and I know
like,
he got another TV show too recently. He's like back on TV again.
I find him very entertaining.
I know you would say you're a fan even.
I would say I'm a fan. Yeah.
I want to be famous.
Grunes. Convenient, comprehensive formula. Are you currently taking multiple supplements a day? This isn't a multivitamin, a greens gummy, or a prebiotic. It's all of those things and then some at a fraction of the price. And bonus, it tastes great.
It does taste great.
Winter's over, spring's here. It's time to ditch the clutter. And we don't mean like your winter clothes or whatever. We mean the clutter of the multivitamins. Like how many of those are you taking a day? It's like we need to pare that down. We need to replace some of those girlies with a singular girly. And that is Grunes. That is Grunes. That's Grunes. That's Grunes. Making wellness enjoyable and sustainable means I only eat one of these things a day, right? And it's gonna be Grunes.
It makes the entire process of taking vitamins and supplements very, very easy and kind of thoughtless. There are 8 gummies in each daily snack pack because you can't fit the right amount of nutrients they do in just one gummy. Plus, 8 gummies in a day, that's a fun treat. Grunes ingredients are backed by over 35,000 research publications. The ingredients in Grunes can yield a 41% increase in healthy gut bacteria, a 53% reduction in the risk of mild cognitive impairment, 75% reduction in immunity-damaging free radicals, and 91% thicker hair and nails, plus improved skin health. You wanted a supplement you could enjoy. This isn't a chore. It's something you look forward to. Get up to 45% off. Use the code WHO.
I have some things I'm planning on getting from Wayfair. I have 2 main things. Both of them are kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. Let me explain, okay? I need a waterproof trunk, and I need a not waterproof wicker trunk. 2 different trunks. And like, those seem like very kind of vague. Could you just you could get anything, a basket? No, I have a very specific thing in my mind that I want, a very specific aesthetic that I want. And because Wayfair has everything, I know that it's on Wayfair. And that is a great feeling.
A very specific trunk made of a very specific material that's a very specific size.
Exactly.
That's why Wayfair exists.
Literally. Like, truly.
It's getting warm, which means you're going to be spending a lot more time outdoors. And that's great because Wayfair's huge selection of outdoor items makes it easy to find exactly what's right for you. Plus, there's free and easy delivery, even on the big stuff. So you don't have to worry about any of that. So don't wait. Make your outdoor space your dream oasis today with Wayfair and enjoy it all summer long. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop a huge outdoor selection. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Went on a brief vacation. As you know, Lindsay and I went on like brief vacations in April. Although my vacation was nice, 4 nights away, really nice. Shout out to the state of Georgia. I had a great time. Nothing was like coming home and getting into my Helix mattress. No place I stayed had a mattress that lived up to the mattress that I have in my own bedroom. Shout out to my Helix. I love it so much. I slept better when I got home. It was wonderful. You were on a vacation too, Lindsay. Was your sleep better when you got home?
Of course it was. I have my mattress at home. I'm trying to get that mattress to go everywhere with me. If I could pack that mattress to go and bring it with me on vacation, I would. Last night I slept on a freaking pull-out couch. How do you think that felt?
Sucks.
Terrible.
That sucks. It really spoils you. It spoils you to have a good Helix
I'm spoiled.
mattress.
I'm not trying to get home from vacation, but I am trying to get home to my Helix mattress. I'll tell you that.
Because I took the quiz and I got exactly the right softness, firmness that I needed for my back and the way that I sleep, which is I'm a stomach side combination.
Okay, I am too.
I have the perfect mattress for that. And you could get perfect sleep as well by going to helixsleep.com/who for 27% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/who for 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. helixsleep.com/who.
I want to be famous.
You know who's the opposite of Jeff Lewis entertaining? That's right. Dua Lipa and her new fiance, Callum
Turner.
I can't think of anything to say other than congratulations. Like, they're like, okay.
Even
great.
people is like, we don't know what to do with this guy. They did a Who is Dua Lipa's fiance, everything you need to know about Callum Turner. And their 5 bullet points are, he is from London.
He is an actor.
They were first linked in January 2024. They made their red carpet debut at the 2025 Met Gala. Dua Lipa confirmed their engagement in June 2025. That's it. That's all we have about Callum Turner. Like, I know who he is. I've seen stuff that he's been in. But, like, what a snoozy, woozy couple.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder kind of like if this relationship started a certain way and then went a different way. I won't say anything else.
A certain way.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I am interested in both Marcus. Well, actually, I'm less interested in Marcus Jordan and Ashley Stevenson than I am in the black bars covering Ashley Stevenson's bikini on TMZ.com because for some reason they censored it.
Well, they're not covering just like her butt, which is in a thong. They're covering her vagina, which is which is fully covered by a bathing suit bottom, and her tits, which also are just like her cleavage. And I think this has been happening a while now, and it's this weird conservatism that has been creeping into the tabloids, where like they want to show pussy and ass, but they like don't. They want you to have to click. Yeah, they don't want to like. It's weird. It's like puritanical.
It's puritanical. You're right. It's there's something really sinister about this because
it's like puritanical smut. It's random.
When I saw like I'm sort of like, look in the mirror. You're TMZ and you're putting a black bar over like
a cleavage,
upper cleavage, like the tamest cleavage imaginable. Like you could have like a sexy. A wily coyote or whatever that wolf is with the tongue would awooga someone with more prominent cleavage than Marcus Jordan's girlfriend on like a children's cartoon. And yet you're saying that, oh, this is a little too scandalous. You're going to have to click to see it. It's alarming.
It's alarming.
And you're very right to point out that it's like representative of like a rise in Puritanism and conservatism.
It's weird. It's weird. We're watching you. We're watching that. We have eyes on that. I see you. I see what you're doing.
But just to talk about the couple, I'm surprised they're still together. They're still together.
Who?
Marcus Jordan and this woman. They've been together for almost a year.
I didn't even know that they were together.
I think we focused on them on the live show. He came up a lot on the live show when they were first dating last fall.
She is already on the new season of Miami being like, my kids told me to break up with him.
Yes.
Madelyn Cline is dating Timmy enemy number 1, Zach Bia.
Timmy enemy number 1. I'm sick of these Outer Banks people.
Zach Bia is more prolific than Pete Davidson at this point or whatever.
Yeah. Madelyn Cline, they were at a
club.
A club in where? London? It was in London, right? Yeah, it was in London.
They were at a party. They were spotted together. It's not the first time they've been spotted together.
I think they're off and on. I think they hook. I think the thing is they just hook up sometimes because like years ago they were spotted at something together and then never again. I think it's like when they're in the same place, they meet
Zach
up.
Bia reveals why he and Madelyn Cline aren't officially dating. This was in 2022. And then like she also dated Pete Davidson, who I mentioned, and Chase Stokes, her Outer Banks co-star, who now dates what's-her-face?
Kelsey Ballerini. Why do they come up all the time?
Kelsey Ballerini. Right, sure. I guess I'm just kind of sick of Madelyn Cline, maybe. She was good in Knives Out.
Yeah.
Knives Out mystery. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. And I don't watch
Madelyn Cline's both Madelyn Cline's dating history is like embarrassing, and Zach Bia's dating history is like disgusting.
Well, I think that's kind of just like men and women.
Men and women. Straight women. Okay,
Married.
thank you for skipping Kristen Dowdy.
That's Vanderpump World. Save that for the Valley. Huma and Alex Soros George Soros and Huma Abedin, George Soros' son and Huma Abedin got married. This is crazy. If I feel like this is like fueling conspiracies that we shouldn't be fueling, and for that reason they shouldn't be together.
Did you read this? There's a really funny line. Someone sent this to me in the New York Times coverage of Huma's wedding. Headline: The Clintons and Kamala Harris descend on a Hamptons wedding of liberal royalty. The wedding
liberal
of Huma.
royalty.
The wedding of Huma, a longtime aide to Hillary Clinton and Alex Soros, the scion of a liberal philanthropic dynasty, drew a rare concentration of wealth and power. A rare concentration of wealth and power.
Rare. That's
and guess
everywhere
what?
you look.
It
is
was
concentration
literally in the
of wealth
Hamptons.
and power.
So how is it a rare concentration of wealth and power in the Hamptons?
Was this before or after we saw Hillary Clinton at Call Me Izzy? Did she go to this party after she saw the one woman show?
I think the reason she was in New York City was to go to this wedding, and she was like, I may as well throw in a matinee.
All right. Well, now who was
When
a
I saw
billionaire?
all the people who were in the Hamptons for this wedding, I was like, I kept imagining that Bugs Bunny gif where he like saws off Florida. I was like, what if we could just saw off Long Island? Like, wouldn't that be really sick? Like,
I mean, generally.
while everyone's there, wouldn't that be awesome?
What's more cursed? Alex Mack getting married or Huma and Alex Soros getting married? Alison Mack getting married to a guy named Frank. I know, it's tough. Alison Mack, who's been in a prison for a while now, got married to a guy named Frank.
Yeah.
Alison Mack of the Nexium scandal.
Yeah, of Smallville and Nexium fame.
of Smallville and Nexium fame. Is she now more famous for Nexium? Yeah, for sure, than Smallville.
I didn't see this. I'm sorry. I knew she got married. I didn't see this lead on TMZ. Alison Mack's locked up again. Nope, she's not headed back to federal prison. She's locked up in a new partnership because she got married.
Making a joke about
so
being locked
clunky.
up in marriage is very funny, though. That's funny. Whoever like had that idea and then kind of wrote it in a weird way, I support you.
I'm screaming at this kid who's holding the chuppah. Look at this.
The chuppah?
I'm pasting this in. Look, the chuppah. He's like, I'm scared. He's like,
Wait,
I'm
that's
so scared. The kid is
that's
like,
so
uh-oh.
funny.
The kid is like, this is bad
Honestly,
news.
one of the scariest. What Alex Mack is capable, it's like Tarek El Moussa vibes. Like she's probably more capable of more damage than. Never forget, she was previously married to Nikki Cline, an actress who was also involved in Nexium. Why were they married? Because Nikki Cline was her slave within
Yeah.
Nexium.
Ugh.
So let's just not forget that.
And in case you're wondering why we're not talking about who she married, it's because the only information anyone has about him is that his name is Frank.
His name is Frank.
We don't know
Guy
the
named
last
Frank.
name.
Alison Mack got me a new ball and chain, married after prison release.
They keep saying a man named Frank, a guy named Frank, her new husband, Frank.
Somebody commented, she's cute, lucky guy. Like, I did not read the article. Jalen Hurts is getting married for the second time in like 1 year. What happened here?
Jalen Hurts, who is an Eagles quarterback, married a kind of normie woman named Brianna Burrows, Bree, at a venue in Napa Valley. But the thing is, they've been married for 2 months because apparently he revealed in like a Men's Health profile. I think this is the one that Clover wrote. Clover's profile of Jalen Hurts is actually like really fascinating and really fun to read because he's so rich. And I don't know much about football, so I'm like, oh, this is like one of the biggest football stars and he's so fucking rich. And he has the most like regimented life. So it's a fascinating piece. You should read it. But in that profile, he was like, you could say I'm married. He revealed that he was in fact married. So he had gotten married at some point in the spring. But the wedding didn't take place until last week. And it was in Napa Valley. And it was humongous.
Okay, but it's the same person.
But it's the
I
same
read this
person.
as it was two different people.
No, it's the same person. He just they did like I guess a low key sort of ceremony thing months ago, but they saved the actual wedding for this, which is why all the headlines are confusing because it's like it's his second wedding. It's his second wedding, but
I
you're
thought it
like,
was second
no,
person.
it's not. It's his second. It's not a second person that he married. It's the second
Yeah, well,
wedding
that's
of the
kinda
same
boring.
person, right? So
All
all the
right.
headlines are actually very confusing unless you've been following Jalen Hurts' wedding saga,
And
which
he's
again was
football
revealed
and
in
she
Men's
works
Health.
in the tech industry and they got married.
She works
2
for
times.
IBM.
Cool.
It goes, as her graduation approached, Burrows was hired by IBM to start her career as a senior client experience consultant in Dallas. After Alabama's director of corporate sponsorships revealed the news on LinkedIn, Burrows wrote, counting down the days, can't wait. Burrows has risen through the ranks at the technology company, spending time there as a sales executive and software financing leader before taking up her current post as an artificial intelligence partner. It is the funniest way to like turn an entire LinkedIn page into 2 paragraphs.
I love it. Moving on. Taron Egerton is back on Raya. People say that means he's split with Chloe Bennett. I
I
don't
always forget which one Chloe Bennett is.
remember
was
who
in-
she is.
She's a Marvel girly, but I had to Google this. I'm saying I always forget, but then I had to
Agents
Google to
of
remember.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
She's on it.
star
She's Marvel
Chloe.
TV, which is a really funny category of Marvel, where it's like I'm in Marvel TV.
Well, I don't need to
I'm
know
in the
who she is
Marvel
anymore
television
because
universe.
they're broken up. And the reason why they're broken up is because somebody claims they saw Taron on Raya and has a screenshot of like a phone from like 2011. So I'm kind of like, what's the evidence here that this is actually recent? Because the phone is not recent. So I'm like, okay, as a sleuth, I'm saying no one has this phone, right?
Yeah, he's such a cutie patootie, I have to say.
I know you love him. You love
I
him
do.
so much.
I watched I think it's under embargo, so I can't talk about it, but I did watch the screeners of his new show with Journey Smollett about
What
an
is it called?
arsonist. It's called Smoke. I turned it on. I was like, Taron Egerton, like figuring out
Sign
who
me up.
is an arsonist with Journey Smollett, sign me up. And I did watch the whole thing, and I'll leave it at that.
We're carry on stands. We're carrying on.
Oh, we're
let's just say
huge
that.
carry on stands. I even watched his Tetris movie. That was horrible.
So shout out to Bobby who's gonna join Raya so he can.
I know. How do I
Mack
get on Raya?
Taron Egerton.
Josh, are you listening? Shut up. Cover your ears.
Speaking of Raya, Jenny Garth claims ex Peter Facinelli, 51, was spotted
I
on
hate
Raya
this.
looking for date as young as his daughter.
But because apparently the daughter saw her dad, Peter Facinelli, on Raya.
Disgusting.
And I guess was sort of like gagged, ew, I saw my dad on Raya, but Jenny Garth used it as a way of being like, isn't it gross that he's looking for women as young as his daughter? Which, I mean, arguably pretty gross.
That's pretty gross. Yeah, that I would argue yes. I'd say unfortunately that's normalized and still pretty gross because he has a daughter who's 27 years old and he, as a 51-year-old man, had an age range that included 27-year-olds.
But this was a case of podcast mouth because Jenny Garth talked about this on the podcast. I do part two. That's the name of the podcast.
I do part two. I do part two. You sound like you're breaking down.
I do part two.
All right, no offense. Can we fly through these next few things because
I'm bored by
I
the
would
Bachelor
like to
people.
get to Rita, and we are over an hour. So I'm gonna say these two Bachelor people split. Grant Ellis and Juliana, don't know either of those names, so let's not. Jen Tran and Sasha Farber, the Dancing with the Stars and Bachelor person who were dating briefly, broke up.
More importantly, this is good. Did you read this? This is so good. Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner, who they split up and it was like a whole thing because he was like, get out of my house. And she was like, I don't want to get out of the house. So they split up a while ago. Their son just graduated from high school. And so they both went to the graduation ceremony in Santa Barbara. And there were so many paparazzis there. And all the paparazzis noticed that Christine and Kevin took a lot of photos with the kid, but they only did it on separate sides of the school grounds. So there are photos of Kevin and the kid and Christine and the kid, but they're on different sides of the property and they were never spotted together.
So it's organized, fully
It's organized. Yeah.
Yeah, the tension's still there. No mistaking that, especially with Christine still cashing those Costner checks. Remember, Kev handed over a $1 million lump sum per their prenup and is still dropping $63K a month for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of staying apart, Robin Roberts and her wife Amber Lane have separate apartments.
Add
That's
it
how
to
it
the
should
pile. I love when older people talk about how they don't live together. It's so funny.
Should be. And when did Robin Roberts and when did Amber Lane reveal this? Yes, on the opening night of Gene Smart's one-woman Broadway show, Call Me Izzy.
How is Call Me Izzy having this much impact?
Perfect. No, it's awesome. It's so perfect. So they met in 2005.
It's also really
on a
funny to
blind
say
date.
this at Call Me Izzy before they probably went
I
into
know.
it and knew what it was
Well,
about.
well, their secret to a long-lasting relationship is separate apartments.
Anyway, the secret to a long-lasting relationship is living apart, and then you walk into Call Me Izzy.
Yeah, and you're like, well,
Sometimes it's not possible. Anyway, I love that. They have different apartments, and then Robin's like, you just have to trust each other, and then it's fine.
Let's move on to Rita Ora.
What was she wearing? Where was she seen? She posted what on Instagram? She's the Who Queen. Tens of people want to know all about the number one Who. Lindsay, Bobby, tell us now. What's Rita Ora up to?
Who is this woman?
So, as we talked about last week, her song came out, and we love it. We love the lyrics. They're so wonderful. Bonnie
We love the
McKee
lyrics.
Wishes. We love the lyrics so much. But she's spent the last week since its release
Well, it's Pride
promoting
Month.
it
Yeah,
everywhere
she's Pride Month.
for Pride.
She's everywhere.
Yes, for Pride.
She's at King's Cross. She's performing in the streets with Will Smith.
With Will Smith?
She's we're everywhere.
Rita Ora, ladies and gentlemen. Rita Ora in the building. Hey! That's right. There you go. I like pretty girls. That's crazy. See, that's how that song works. You just put it on, they just show up. So that's ladies and gentlemen, Rita Ora in the house.
Did you hear Will Smith's new solo song? It is so funny.
Yeah, it's.
I kind of
makes
love that
me feel weird.
he's fully like he's gone all in on music again, and it's
he's throwing the spaghetti at
hysterical.
the wall and seeing what will stick. I think that's where we're at with Will Smith, but still so famous, which is crazy.
Still so famous.
Like somebody who's kind of actively flopping is still so famous, and it kind of doesn't really affect the fact that he is famous.
Will is performing at the event now. You performed with him this weekend. Something else that Will has done is act, which you have too. Can we see you in front of the camera anytime soon?
Absolutely. I actually just wrapped up 2 really big franchises, and and it's just summer. So I was just away in Australia for a few months working on a movie, and just did something in Canada for Disney, so 100%. But I think Will and I have crossed paths many times over the years, and we've are great friends, and he's a great, I would say, he's a supporter of mine and has helped me in a lot of ways.
So Rita Ora is promoting the song at a lot of Pride events. There was one in London that some hooligans went to. They called us and told us about it. She's also featured in the trailer for about 2 seconds for Lena Dunham's new Netflix show that stars Meg Stalter called Too Much. And so in the trailer for this show, they're kind of showing obviously the plot, but then at the end there's like a sort of like montage of cameos, like famous faces that you just see really quickly. And it's like, oh, there's Andrew Scott. Oh, there's Jessica Alba. Oh, there's Rita Ora as a Santa, like dressed in a Santa costume.
Is this our influence? Maybe I'm being a little, but not making
I
it
don't
about
think
me.
this is our influence.
I think it's our influence.
I think that Rita would have found her way into the trailer for Too Much somehow.
One time, Who Weekly listener, don't know if she still listens, Lena Dunham, is just very aware with the goings on of Rita Ora. And perhaps accurately, but it is accurate, thinks of her as a London icon, which she is. She's a British icon. And when Lena moved to London, part of her kind of British education was maybe hanging out with Rita Ora, meeting up with Rita Ora a few times, casting Rita Ora, knowing the lore of Rita Ora, and knowing that she is the queen of the UK. Not literally the queen, but, a queen of the UK.
Not literally the queen.
It hits close to home in a way that feels personal, and I like it.
Which song released in the month of June 2025 do you think has the most streams on Spotify? Will Smith's Pretty Girls or Rita Ora's Heat?
100% Rita Ora's Heat.
Yes. By a factor of
which is what's crazy
4.
about this video of them performing together. He's a million times more famous, but her song charts better.
Her song has over 500,000 streams on Spotify. Will Smith's has just over 100,000. It's not a bad song. It's just a weird. It makes me feel weird to listen to that Will Smith song.
And she's getting the kind of iconic headlines
she's
that
back
she
to
gets
normal.
when
She's
she's
back to
doing
normal.
stuff. She's, wearing sandals that are funky with a
But
bottle
the sandals
cap
have
design.
bottle caps on them. Isn't that interesting?
She's displaying a hint of
Isn't that
underboob in a
interesting?
skimpy orange bikini as she promotes new singles. She's looking incredible. She strips up to thong bikini to enjoy an ice lolly by the pool. She's looking chic in a plunging brown leather dress as she joins stylish Becky Hill, blah, blah, blah. She is wearing a gem-embellished Fendi mules at the Music and Women event. Okay? She is doing a Z100 drop-in with Ryan Seacrest alongside Sir Richard Branson. I mean, what can't this woman do? You left again. I'll just keep going. I will just keep monologuing about Rita Ora. I'll just finish this off myself. In fact, Bobby fell off because his internet's gone, but Rita Ora remains supreme. Thank you for listening to this episode of Who Weekly.
You've been talking for so long, and I've been off.
Did you hear it all, though?
No, I didn't hear any of it. I've been off for
I was starting to
45
monologue
seconds.
my way. I was going to monologue my way into the finale without you.
Okay.
It wasn't going well.
Thank you. I was talking about how much I love the bottle caps. Lindsay, thank you so much for monologuing your way into the finale after my internet cut out. You're such a pro.
Do it. Can I do it?
Yeah, just do it.
Thank you for listening to Who Weekly call in with your questions, comments, and concerns. 619 who them for our Friday show.
Okay. Yeah.
Rate and repeat.
Patreon.
No, don't help me. I'm supposed to do it myself. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Who Weekly, where you'll get exclusive content like recaps of And Just Like That and chatter about celebrity profiles that are longer and more A-listy than what we do here. You can also subscribe on Apple for audio only versions of those podcasts. What's next? What did I forget? Follow us on
Thank you to Katie and Eric of the Who's.
Thank you to Katie and Who's for the Rita Ora theme song. Thank you to Timmy for his editorial guidance, his researchionista talents. What else? What's that?
And I think that's it. We'll see you on Friday.
And I think that's it. We'll see you on Friday for our call-in episode of Who's There, 619 Who Them. Thank you very much for listening to this.
Bye.
I'm Lindsay Weber.
And I'm Bobby Finger. Bye.
Bye.
You were great.
Good. I did it good.
Yo, they want to know. Hey. Leo.